What are you doing anyway?
What?
What are you doing?
Just looking on Rightmove.
Is that your prep for this?
Yeah.
Your prep for this is looking on Rightmove?
Yes. I am looking at properties I cannot afford in areas that I don't want to live.
Property mogul, aren't you?
Absolutely. Buy low, sell high.
Bye. Everyone, welcome to episode 1 of the Porror Hodcast.
Hey up.
Nice. Also, happy Friday the 13th.
Very bloody apt.
Very good. I kind of wish we'd have started a week early so we could have done a whole big thing, but fuck it.
Have you seen all the memes? Like, what is it? You know, like the old man who's like looking down and then looks up, really surprised when you say it's Friday the 13th, but Friday the 13th in 2020. Yeah.
Shit's gonna end.
Nothing's happened. I've had the most uneventful day.
You have just been pottering about doing fuck all.
I've been watching the Masters and I was napping on the sofa. No, I've been I don't. My boss isn't going to listen to this. I've been working really, really hard today.
He has been. I've heard him typing away. He's been going wild for it.
I bought a few things online. I've got some Christmas shopping in early. I went on a bike ride and then, like I say, watched a bit of the Masters napping on the sofa.
Okay, so at no point today has a man in a hockey mask and a machete come to try and kill you.
No, I can confirm not.
Okay, and at any point today have you been having sex near a lake whilst meant to be watching the kids swimming?
I have not.
Okay, so even if next Halloween, Friday the 13th happens, you know, no one's coming after you.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm guessing this is a horror movie reference.
We are in Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Oh, it's Friday the 13th, the horror movie.
Yes. The franchise.
Is that not Jason? Is that Jason?
That is Jason. Yes.
What's the
I'm proud of you.
No, I don't know the difference between the Friday the 13th and who's the other guy who wears a hockey mask?
A hockey mask?
Yes. Or the white face.
That's Michael Myers.
Yes.
From Halloween.
Yes.
People get kind of confused.
Same thing, right?
Yes, they both walk incredibly slowly and yet somehow manage to keep up with very young teens sprinting.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's his superpower.
Would it be a superpower? I guess
fastest man alive.
Jason's superpower. Both their superpowers surely is just the fact that they can't die.
They do it. Whoa! Spoiler alert.
How many fucking sequels do both of those have?
That's a good point, but I don't know if they kill him. I thought he just like goes on an absolute rampage. But what I was going to say is, they have walking races in the Olympics, right?
Wait, they do?
Well, speed walking, yeah. You know when they do
That's
the funny
in the Olympics.
Yeah, you know
the thing that Hal does on Malcolm in the Middle.
Yes, yeah, like wiggle their bums and have to go heel toe. That is an Olympic event. Imagine Freddy Krueger, Jason.
There you go.
I'm not good at horror.
On that note, so if there's one thing that goes without saying, I'm going to say it anyway. But we are incredibly official here at the Horror Podcast. Porror Hodcast. Still not gotten used to saying that.
We'll cut that bit.
Yeah, sure.
Say it one more time.
We're incredibly official here at the Porror Hodcast. So we just want to send a big thank you to both Will Gregson for doing some amazing cover art for us. Please follow him on Instagram at Will Gregson Design.
Thanks, Gregson.
And also to the band Good Friend for our intro and outro music. Please check them out on Spotify, Bandcamp, and follow them on Instagram at Good Friend Band.
Sick tune as well.
It's an absolute banger.
Absolute banger.
I literally heard you like walking around the house just humming that to yourself this week.
Because all I've been doing is looking forward to doing this podcast. I've had nothing to do.
No, you've been working.
I've been working. Yeah.
Right, so yeah, we are at first episode 1. Ed, your homework was to watch the Babadook.
Yes. Babadook or Babadook? We decided on Babadook.
What feels good for you?
Babadook.
Just because, okay.
Like I said on the last one, Babadook sounds less scary.
Okay, so the Babadook.
Yes.
Up duck.
Yes.
Tell us what your thoughts?
Well, to be totally honest, I was all right.
Yeah?
Yeah. I didn't think it was that scary.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Well, No, don't get me wrong. It was a bit freaky. Okay, it's a bit weird. You know, I was trying to figure out what is it. By the name, I'm thinking, okay, have we got some sort of weird demon here or something? You know, it's an entity, isn't it? But no, it's essentially the boogeyman. And I'm sorry, I'm 31 years old. Wait, 30? Am I 30? Yes. I'm 31 years. No, I'm 32.
You're 32. Yeah.
I'm 32 years old. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Yeah. I'm not scared of the boogeyman.
Okay. Well, we do have a clip of you being scared at the boogeyman, though.
Okay.
Okay. So just it's gonna play that right now for you.
Oh, that's the worst thing to do. Oh. Oh. Oh! Is this going to be even worse? Oh my god! Oh! Oh! Okay, when you play that...
When you play it out loud.
When you play it out loud, it sounds like I was really scared.
So tell me again how you weren't scared at the boogeyman.
That bit was fucking scary. What I'm saying is, on a whole, I normally base a horror film on how much do I watch it behind my fingers, or behind,
right,
like closing my eyes. And besides that moment, I don't think I was that scared.
Okay.
I mean, the problem is, though, you listen to that clip. I'm scared of listening to that clip. The fucking silence terrifies me in between the two scares.
I mean, that's a perfect point, is that I think if a film is just made up of jump scares, and only that, cheap jump scares, you will react as such. Like, I could have played that and it would just be, ah. But I think what gives it away that you were a little bit actually scared is the fact that in between you can hear yourself whispering to yourself. You're like, oh fuck! Like you were in the moment. You weren't just reacting to jump scares. You were invested, and you were in that moment a little bit scared,
a little bit pooey,
a little bit wee poo.
I was, but it was that bit was quite scary. But and look, please give your rundown. Give me a nerdy rundown, but. What I struggled with, the fucking Babadook is...
I thought we were calling it the duck.
The Babadook is, for me, a combination between Papa Lazaro from The League of Gentlemen and any character Noel Fielding has ever played, ever, in anything. And I just felt...
Even in Bake Off? Is the Babadook just walking around the Bake Off tent?
Oh, interestingly, we watched Bake Off the night before, so...
We did!
I'm basically seeing Papa Lazaro and Noel Fielding fucking terrify some poor old woman. Look, so it's kind of a scary concept, but it's not. And then, breaking it down when it's just fucking some weird bloke in some weird costume...
Yeah, okay.
Play that and it sounds like I was that scared, but I promise you I wasn't that scared.
In that moment, you were that scared.
I shot myself, yeah.
No, okay, so just a quick point from me. I think, in my opinion, that film, whether you deem it scary, and whether even you deem it as a good film or not, in my opinion, it 100% succeeds in what it actually sets out to do, and that is making whoever's watching it feel uncomfortable. It's not necessarily about the jump scare or the eeriness. It makes you feel uncomfortable. And I remember...
Well, hang on. Explain that. Because, in all honesty, I will feel uncomfortable during any horror film. Why would this be particularly poignant to be uncomfortable?
Okay, so it attacks your senses. Everything about this film is meant to make you feel like you're on edge. It's trying to put you in the position of the mother in this. We should have really prefixed this whole scenario with, spoiler alert, it puts you on edge, and it's trying to put you in the same position as the mother. It's this deteriorated mental state, this sleep-deprived, anxious, nervous, what the fuck is going on? Just please put me out of my misery. everything about it is meant to do that. Fuck's sake, if there was such a thing as smell-o-vision, I imagine this film would be pumping out rotten eggs.
Right.
Like, it wants to attack your senses, and that's the whole point of it. Is once you're at that vulnerable state, you cannot take this kid screaming anymore. You cannot take the constant interference noise, white noise that is always playing in the background whenever the Babadook is mentioned.
Yeah.
You are more susceptible then to jump scares. And more susceptible to actual scares rather than just the cheap.
That's fair. There's someone just jumping out. It's
Exactly.
like the shivers that I got, like, whilst the Babadook was coming, or... I mean, look, basically, like, to give it a bit of more meat on the bones, we want you to watch these films with us, I guess, or if you've seen them before, you know, so you can kind of agree with us, disagree with us, tell us what you think. But if you haven't seen it, and yeah, total friggin' spoiler alert, we will ruin it for you. But to give you a breakdown, it's basically a woman and her little boy who are haunted by essentially a boogie monster. A lot of bad things happen to her earlier in her life, and this little kid is a little fucking idiot, right?
Yeah,
he
he's
is
fucking annoying.
He is like, if there is a fucking movie for contraception, I think both of us said this at one point through the film, that I'm never having kids.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially Australian kids.
It's Australian kids. Another thing, I know. And okay, this is another thing. They were Australian. I really struggle to find that scary. I don't know why, but I associate that Australian accent, and I apologise to all my Aussie mates who are listening, Cat.
Hey, Cat.
That it's either... I know, it's your mate, innit? It's either bogan or fucking taking the piss. I can't find that accent overly serious or overly scary. So anyway, back to the friggin' roundup, that essentially this kid has issues, this woman has issues, and they're friggin' haunted by this bloody entity. And it all comes in the form of this friggin' badass pop-up book.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, dude, they're so sick.
The pop-up book's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to have been one of the prop designers or the actual prop makers on that film, just doing that book.
Yeah, I bet you could buy it, right?
That's a great shout. I'm going to look online after this.
Basically, it's this,
Thank you, Jeff Bezos.
We must always pay homage to our master and fucking commander, Jeff Bezos, in every episode. What if we get sponsored by Amazon?
Then we'll be paid less than minimum wage.
I feel very unfulfilled.
Right, yeah, she is sleep deprived. She is going through a very tough time. Her kid is acting out. And yeah, it all develops in for the form of the boogeyman, which is very apt what you call it.
In form of Noel Fielding.
In form of Noel. This film could have been called The Noel Fielding.
Yeah. Did you ever watch what was The Candyman? Right.
Yeah.
So never watched it, but I know the premise that if you look in the mirror and say the Candyman however many times, the Candyman appears. Right.
Yes.
It's basically that. You say Noel Fielding three times in a mirror,
and he turns up in an H&M jacket.
Yeah. Ladies' heels and fucking scares you with a pop-up book.
And tells you your cheesecake's got a soggy bottom.
I like him in Bake Off.
Yeah, I've got to say, I haven't really watched Bake Off since it moved to 4.
Well, I have, so don't knock him. And with...
Matt Lucas.
Yeah.
I do love him.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. There's a point in the film, right? And this is what I don't really fucking get, right? So... has he been seeing this monster before the friggin' whole film starts? You know, let's say he's got this whole backstory that he's been having problems, because it opens the film with him having nightmares. He always runs into his... So has he been seeing the Babadook before?
He has not, no, because if you remember, the first point you even hear or see of it is when he picks out the book to give it to his mum to read into bed. So yeah, the kid sees... The kid's fucking nightmare. He's having nightmares. He does think there's monsters in his wardrobe, under his bed, everywhere hiding. But he's not seen the Babadook.
So then why the fuck has he built all these goddamn medieval tools to fucking kill something? Like, to kill a monster. Right, and again, context.
Because he does see monsters.
He's built a fucking rudimental wooden fucking cricket ball propulsion device. A fucking... It looks like the Ghostbusters backpack, but with like a friggin' one of them shitty dog fucking tennis ball throwers that old people use so they don't have to bend over to pick up a tennis ball. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. There's one downstairs.
There is one downstairs. Well done, Liz. And he's building all these frigging things. He's got a crossbow. He's built a crossbow with darts to kill monsters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a very imaginative. This is what I'm saying. He needs the right outlet. Put him in a fucking English class or a science class. He's gonna disturb. You know, whack him in drama school or, you know, some kind of...
Well, clearly CDT.
Woodwork. Send him in woodwork.
His craftsmanship is incredible. And, you know, he propelled that cricket ball a good 3 meters.
There is something very Home Alone about one of the back ends of, like, about 2. I think is a bit Home Alone-y about it.
There is.
Just taking it back, the clip that we played earlier is the scene where it kind of really does first mobilise in the house, right? She's in bed, she's got the kid next to her. And...
This isn't the bit where she's, you know?
Oh, having a good old fun time by herself.
So this is, again, I guess shows the date of the film, but she's got this retro dilly. Like, I mean,
Mate, retro dillies go for so much money on eBay.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Known that they've been used?
Well, it's more like collector's items, isn't it?
What, of retro dildos?
Yeah.
Retro vibrators?
Well, maybe not the vibrators.
How back does this date? For the very first?
To ivory hunters in Africa.
The smallest little dildo, but powered by this battery that is the size of a fucking car. For kinky women in Amsterdam.
So moving swiftly on, the bit that I was actually trying to get to, the main first jump scare, so not the first in the film, the big first reveal. So she's in bed with her son, not with a retro dilly, and she starts hearing like the noise, almost like I think it's like the noise like a chair being scraped across like timber floors, right? This is from the clip that we played earlier of you not being scared in inverted commas.
Yes.
So the whole build up to that scene, the feeling of that scene, the fact is, I think a lot of people do not like it in a film where you actually see the boogeyman. Right. I think one of the perfect examples for me, just on a quick side note, is Jeepers Creepers is creepy as fuck until you realise he's a green monster.
Yeah. No, exactly.
When he's just in a man in a fucking trench coat, in a public masturbator trench coat.
Yeah.
Like, he's creepy.
Yeah, it breaks all illusion because you create what's scary in your own mind, right?
Totally, absolutely.
You know, I am not picturing Noel Fielding at this point.
Oh my god, I'm never gonna not see Noel Fielding as the Babadook now. So, but you in that scene, you don't full see anything. It's the implication. Know it's not kind of real. I think the way that it almost like stutters, almost like the film is broken. It floats in the air. It's like the glitch almost kind of thing, and it's moving around. Does that take away from it? The fact that you do kind of half see something, like it's more of a shadow person, right?
No, but I swear you see a face. Don't you see like a white face?
Eventually you do, yes. But in that scene, no.
So what I think was really scary about that scene is you're right. It builds up that tension loads, and those noises that it makes, that shivery noise before it shows itself, like it proper. My friggin' hairs are standing on end, and like I don't know if we said, but like I've got my Fitbit on, right?
Yeah.
And friggin' my resting heart rate's about between 49, 51 beats.
All right,
a minute.
Fucking hell, dropping that one out there, aren't you? I'm fitter than all of you.
I work out. So my heart rate went up to 81 beats, right? Yeah. Like before the jump.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just a sign, like you were saying, and that makes total sense. Like the fucking sensors, like everything was just gearing me up to be like totally on edge. The noise cut through me. The sort of unknown. And then when it jumps out. But like I say, I think that was the last time I was really scared in that film. No,
there was another, and kind of leading on to a bit more of a point of mine. So later on, so this is when you actually do see the things. The Babadook, Noel Fielding, has got a white face, so he's doing reverse blackface. So it's kind of the start of Act 2 where she kind of fully gets taken over by him. I think the kid's sleeping on the sofa and she's walking through to the kitchen and she sees it almost come through in the kitchen. And it starts walking slowly towards her a little bit, and it kind of like almost jumps.
Oh, yeah, that bit.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that bit. Oh, that's made my fucking skin crawl.
Exactly. So, and that does it even in itself builds up. You can see something in front of you, and you've already got shivers. And then the next second, it takes it up a level. And it's the long creepy spiky fingers it has. They come out.
Fucking salad fingers.
Salad fingers. Oh, it is. Oh my god, it is salad fingers. Noel Fielding.
It's Noel Fielding. We've got to the bottom of it.
If there's ever a live action remake of Salad Fingers. So it just adds it up another step. It builds it up, and then it suddenly lurches forward like 2 feet. Not right to the camera, but it suddenly lurches forward. It's another step. It's this idea of building up, and the whole thing, you can see it. It's not giving you a cheap jump scare that's jumping out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, it is building that tension. It is making you feel uncomfortable. The whole time it's on there, the noise that's emitting from the TV is fucking awful.
You know, with that, I think that is way more fucking scary. Like, I don't care who you are, a fucking a shadow, like a shadow in the corner of a dark room, and you don't know what that is way fucking scarier than seeing a monster or an alien or a fucking entity, whatever. Right?
Entirely. Every single person.
It's the not knowing.
Every single person has been in that state where they've woken up half awake, half asleep at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, whatever, look into the corner of the room, and a shadow cast by your bloody bookcase or whatever, mixed with a poster on your wall, makes it look like someone's there. You are dead set certain you're about to die because there's a maniac in the corner of the room. Yeah. You see that shit.
Yeah. So, and then you fight or flight. You either literally lay there and shit your pants or you throw pillows at it.
So, as an overarching thing, so like, and I do want to, say this right now, not every horror film has true meaning to it. There are, and we will 100% be watching some of the ones that really don't have any meaning, and they're there for cheap thrills.
Okay.
But do you see this film as having any kind of overarching storyline, kind of deep meaning to it?
Never have children. Just don't fucking have children.
No, this
shit will never fucking happen. Don't have children.
That's one that you're taking away from this.
Yes.
Okay. Well, fuck it. If that.
Wait, you mean actually? You mean like genuinely?
Yeah.
What? What do I take? What is the meaning behind it?
Yeah. Do you? I mean, I'm not telling you to come up with something. Did you see this as having any kind of theme to it, overarching storyline to it?
Is it got something to do with the dad?
I mean, I would say yes.
Well, then yes, something to do with the dad. That's
something to do with her husband.
Yeah.
Right. So as I and many others see it, the film is it's about grief. It's about overcoming grief.
Right.
So it's very obvious. The very first scene, and then pretty much the first words the kid speaks is about the fact that his dad's dead.
Right.
Right. And he never knew his dad. So it's so the main narrator of the entire film is the mother. She is the one who's going through grief here. Okay, and so much so that she's letting it affect more than just her own mind. It's now affecting people around her because she is struggling to control her grief. Now, the physical embodiment of the Babadook is her husband.
Yeah.
And the grief of losing her husband.
Yes.
So much so that in 2 scenes in the film...
It is her husband.
It is her husband.
Noel Fielding transforms into this incredibly good-looking guy.
Really good-looking.
To be fair, she's a banger. She gets progressively worse throughout the film because she's haunted by this horrible spirit and her child is an absolute fucktard. But she,
delicately put,
she is a worldie, right?
Yes, pretty good.
Absolutely would.
So the idea is that grief can hit out of nowhere. And again, I imagine that a lot of people listening to this would know this, that they've gone through some kind of grief. So that it can hit you just out of the blue, or reoccurring. So in this scenario, the Babadook, and this is quite links into quite what you were saying, the kid's never known what the Babadook is before this, right? But the Babadook book just suddenly appears in the build up to his birthday, also the build up to the death,
anniversary of his death. Yes.
So it can come out of nowhere, it can come around, and it can suddenly take over your life. So before the Babadook book is found, there's not even a single mention of it. After that, even though the kid's only read it once, or even had half the book read to him before he starts crying like a little bitch, it is everything the kid talks about. So it is taking over absolutely everyone's life. And it's always going to be there. whether or not you think it's a good or a bad ending to a film, it's exactly right for what the film wanted to do. Normally in a horror film, the majority of the time, good conquers evil. On the odd time it's an extremely depressing film, evil conquers good.
Yeah.
In this, neither happens. They are living harmonious. Well, I wouldn't say harmoniously, but that's exactly of your understanding of coming to terms with grief. No matter how much you come to... Nothing can control your grief. No amount of drugs will ever numb the pain enough for it to never be a thing anymore. It is always going to be there in your life.
But you just have to be like peaceful with it almost, which is why she says. So do we say the ending? Can we say the ending?
Yeah, well, we've given spoiler alert, and also this film was released in 2014. So if you haven't seen it and you've gotten to this point without turning off, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck you.
And send your complaints to
Jeff
your mum. Go.
So it ends with really good. I love how you've just fucking bashed our listeners, all two of them, right there. Basically, go complain to your mum.
Yeah, whatever.
So hang on. So it finishes with there's this whole scene where she tries to she brimstone and fire, tells the Babadook to go fuck herself, leave us alone, I'm a powerful woman, I'm good. And the Babadook looks like it's about to leave. It looks like she's done it, she's gotten rid of it, she pukes up all this black shit, and the Babadook's gone. But then there's this whole friggin' scene where they kind of scream at each other, and you never see what's going on. I'm not explaining this very well. All right, bottom line is, last scene of the film, everything's happy, jolly, back to bogan, Aussie accents, kids going to school, lassies going to work. They come home, and they're playing in the garden, right?
Yep.
They're picking worms.
It's on the kid's birthday.
Kid's birthday, they're picking worms, right?
Yep.
Picking worms out of the garden. Why are they picking worms?
Well,
they're picking worms so she can go into the basement to go feed the fucking Babadook, the fucking entity that she's captured because she's tamed it, right? That's what I got from it.
Yeah, well, I mean, almost dead on. She's not tamed it.
Right.
She's learning to live harmoniously with it. That's not taming it, because if it was tamed, in the scene when she first goes into the basement, the thing scares the shit out of her. The thing jumps out at her and scares her. And that is still this idea of grief, that it will even though you're living with it, and even though you're aware of it and you're managed to control it, you've got to understand that it will still, every now and again, give you the fucking shits, give you willies, stick it right up, yeah. So it still manages to do that. So she's not tamed it at all, but she is learning to live harmoniously with it. And the idea that she, on her son's birthday being the anniversary of the death of her husband, she's acknowledging the Babadook. If she wasn't to acknowledge it, the thing would still be haunting her. She's acknowledging it on that day by allowing, on her son's birthday, to go feed a creepy Noel Fielding tied up in a basement some worms.
Right, last point for me. And the one thing that really, really fucked me off about this film, right?
Do tell.
And it's not like I wanted the child to die. I just didn't want him to be in the film anymore. No, so the problem for me was the fucking dog gets killed.
Yeah.
The dog, and it's always the dog. Always the dog gets killed.
Yeah.
Like, fucking why? I mean, it's brutal. So lovely dog, and fucking, as we know, dogs fucking know evil.
Right? Oh yeah, they can spot it a mile away.
Dog barks at the postman. It's not because he's friggin' delivering a package and he's not aware of it, because that fucking postman is a nonce and he's done something horrible, and there is fucking some poor woman or poor man in his van, right?
Yes, absolutely. He's an absolute diddler.
The dog knew, the dog was barking, and the poor dog gets killed, and yet this little shit is absolutely right as rain because he's got a fucking ball launcher.
I wouldn't quite say it was right as rain.
You know what I mean?
He was getting choked out at one point.
Is he better off than the dog?
Of course he's better off than the dog.
Right.
And so you do wish it was the other way round. That he would have died and the dog would have been almost choked but lived.
I think that would be fair.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my final point is, why the fuck have dogs always got to die in the horror films?
That is a shame, innit? But it gets you emotionally in there. I guess. That is a shame. No, you put me on a downer.
I want to see, and please find this.
Yeah.
I want to see a horror film about a killer dog. Or, if not that, some form of dog movie where they go around kicking ass and taking names.
Okay, number one, that already exists.
What?
Cats and Dogs with Alec Baldwin. And also the dog horror film you're talking about is Cujo.
Then great. Let's watch that next week. Cats and Dogs, great film, by the way.
I also want to apologise, I probably pronounced Cujo wrong. Okay, so my big reveal point, which kind of it just links back to the idea that this whole thing is about the mother, about her struggling with grief. So the theory is that the mother is actually the author of the book, The Babadook, in the film.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so she's the actual author of this. She's written this. So I'm saying that she wrote it. She's the one who put it back together after she destroys it. She is the creator of it. We know we are theorising that she is the creator of the Babadook by her own mental state and her grief. But she has physically created the Babadook book in this film.
So what? She has been up all night with fucking scissors and PVA glue and making this kick-ass pop-up book to deal with her grief.
Yes. Well, maybe not to deal, because, she doesn't deal with it until right at the end, but it's her grief taking over. Yes. So,
All right.
So, a couple of theories. So, at the kids' birthday party, when they're all there, she's revealed to be a writer. And a past writer, for instance. And she says
that was a very pointless throwaway comment.
Very pointless, and even more of a pointless throwaway comment.
Well spotted.
Even more of a throwaway pointless comment in that was that when she was asked what she used to write, she used to write some stuff. She wrote some bits for kids. The book, as creepy as it fucking was an obvious kids book.
Yes.
Yes, it was done in a kid style, pop-up style, right?
Okay. This is why I like you. You understand films. I'm just there for the fucking colours.
It was a lovely colour red of the red bound book.
It was.
So the book's seen again the second time after she destroys the book's found again on her doorstep, right? When she opens the door,
she rips it up, throws it away,
exactly.
And it's on her doorstep after those knocking on the door, which was also relatively scary. But I didn't really.
Exactly.
I was pretty tough.
So all the old pages, they're all stuck back together, yeah, and there's brand new pages. And
there are.
So there's brand new pages, and it's more threatening. It's outright calling for head and blood.
Oh, it fucking raises its game.
Oh yeah,
right?
Massively.
It goes from friggin', I don't know, here's a sweetie, get into my van, to full on rape.
So next scene, she goes to the police station to report that she thinks that she's being stalked. She thinks that she's being terrified. She's terrified. She's been terrorised by someone, but you see that she's got blackened hands to start with, right? So
yes.
So any normal, let's say it's normal. That's quite condescending to someone like you,
yes,
or to just someone who's enjoying the film. Yeah. That would appear normal. To be, but normal because she's just burnt the book.
She's got mucky hands. She's burnt the book.
Exactly.
Okay.
Did you notice though that only her right hand was blackened?
No.
There you go. So there's number one. Her right hand was only blackened. And number two, she's just burnt the book. What did she burn it with?
Fire.
Well, yes. But she set alight using lighter fluid.
Right.
Lighter fluid does not make your hands black. Charcoal would. But there was no charcoal in that barbecue. But the new pages... there you go. That penny's just dropped. The new pages and the old pages of the Babadook book...
Charcoal. Written in charcoal. Coloured in charcoal.
Exactly. So then, lastly, the idea that she's just explained to the policeman who doesn't believe her that she destroyed the book. So she's destroyed the only evidence. So she gets really... worried and starts hiding her hands once the policeman notices that it's blackened. So if she's just explained to him already that she's destroyed it, she could literally say, "Oh, I burnt it. That's how I destroyed it." So why would she be hiding that hand? She innately, something deep down in the conscious of her mind is telling her that she's done wrong here and that she needs to hide the fact that her hand.
So she's the killer. I nailed it.
I feel like you're not getting this.
It was very screechy as well. Sorry for that hard noise.
exactly this. So the mother all along has been writing this book. She's been writing the narrative. She is the narrator. We are following her point of view. The fact that you never see her actually doing this is absolutely fine, considering the fact that the narrator is making you see things anyway.
I just think this poor, lovely angel face lady from Australia is having a real shit time with her fucked out of a son. And now I know she done it.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, she done it. She done it. Let's leave it at that.
This was a whodunit film, and we figured out that she done it.
She done it. She done it.
Yeah.
So, as a new feature, everything's new. There's a feature that we're going to start introducing on this podcast. We're going to give the films we watch, we're going to get Ed to give it a rating. But we're going to do our own rating.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it out of 5, but we're replacing numbers with something a little bit more layman's terms, right? The everyman terms.
The Ed Fogg
The
terms.
Ed Fogg terms.
Everyman.
My name is Ed Everyman.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. So, number 1 on the scale, got Disney Princess.
Right. So this is friggin' just watched Moana. Had a lovely evening.
You've always just watched Moana.
It's a great film.
It's a great film.
It's a great film.
Number 2.
Yeah.
STI check.
Right, so this is, you're a little bit nervous, you know, you're a little bit scared, you're on the edge of your seat. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? It's a bit worrying. Number 3.
But it's also kind of exhilarating.
You find waiting for an STI report
Well,
exhilarating?
no, I mean, it's like a, you know, will they, won't they, you know, type thing going on. You know, like, you don't know. It's like, you know, getting the result.
Normally in this scenario, people hope that they will. Are you actively hoping you have something?
No, I won't. No. You misunderstanding. My point is, I once got chatted up in an STI clinic in Birmingham.
Possibly the worst place to have a chat up.
Very true. But you sat there, you know, you're looking around, everyone's sort of similar sort of age. Because you're there on a Monday morning and you're not at work.
What else you got to do, eh?
And, a couple of sorts. Clearly goers. Let's wait until we get our results and hook up. All right, come on. What's 3?
Number 3. A little bit of wee.
Okay, so we're ramping this up. This is, you're scared. This is, you're watching it. You've yelped. You're screaming. You're weeing essentially.
You have weed yourself,
right? Yeah,
a little bit. There's been a bit of wee come out.
Okay.
All right. Number 4. Sleeping with the lights on.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Fucking check under the bed, check your wardrobe. I am not sleeping with the lights off tonight.
Absolutely. You are entirely afraid of what goes bump in the night.
I am anyway.
Are you just a constant 4 on this?
Pretty much.
Okay. And lastly, number 5, full on shat myself. That one kind of speaks for itself, I think.
This is, you cannot be more scared. You need a whole new fucking set of drawers.
Yeah.
Like, you have just defecated yourself.
Oh, yeah, we ain't talking metaphorically here.
Right.
You have literally
Right.
just turded in your briefs.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so episode 1, the Babadook. Ed, where's it going on the scale?
I am going to put the Babadook at level 2, Will, and that is our
Level 2?
STI check. I liked it. I did find it scary. Yes, I was on the edge of my seat. I was pretty nervous, but I wasn't scared throughout. I'm not scared of Noel Fielding. I'm not scared of Salad Fingers. Papa Lazarou a little bit, but no, it's getting to STI check.
This rating, is this purely on a scare rating, or is this a combination of how scared you were and was it even a good film?
I think more a scare rating, because I don't particularly like any of these films.
That's a very good point. So a full-on scare rating. So there you have it. The Babadook, it gets an STI check. Please get yourself checked, Noel Fielding.
Good.
So congratulations on making it through episode 1, making it through the Babadook, or as we're now calling it, Noel Fielding.
Oh, they can't see. I'm flexing.
I can confirm he is flexing.
I'm flexing.
Are you scared of future weeks? Are you scared of future
Well,
films?
absolutely, because you heard.
Oh, they heard.
You heard what I'm like what I have put this at a level 2. I know how scared I can get, and I know the films that you like. So yes, I am a little nervous.
Okay. I hope you are. Week 2. Episode 2, film number 2. We're going to be watching the 2005 film The Descent.
Okay.
That reaction gives something away. Have you seen this film?
No, I've not seen it. You've just spoken about it a lot. I know the premise. You've mentioned it, and I think you've told me it's pretty scary. You've said it's one of the scariest films you've seen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. For me personally, I think it's finding what you are actually afraid of in real life and how that can affect you if the horror film is based around that.
So fucking confined spaces.
Confined spaces. Yes. Have you been potholing?
No, I haven't. But as children, I was once locked into a hardback suitcase by my older brother.
Ah, like the Boo Box.
Like the Boo Box.
Yes. But no scorpions. So The Descent was rated 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's got a 7.2 rating on IMDb.
And Will has a massive rager for it all the fucking time. So
it's such a good film. It is such a good horror film.
Okay.
Like, incredibly good, in my opinion. For me, it's one of the best horror films of, like, I hate the term, but of my generation.
I mean, it sounds classic. It sounds like everything I don't want to fucking watch.
Yeah. People
trapped in a confined space, and I'm guessing shit happens. I'm guessing, it's not, trapped in a pothole is scary enough, but then if you throw down fucking Cher's album on repeat, it gets a whole lot worse. It's like,
oh my god, look, things are scary. They're not that scary, are they? Nothing can be that scary.
Full on shut my pants.
So yeah, let's see next week what rating Ed's going to give The Descent.
Okay, sweet as. Please do watch that film along with us. As we said last week, it'll be so much better if you guys know the film, if you watched it, and then we can review it, critique it together. And thank you very much for listening. That is the first proper full episode of the Porror Hodcast. It's been a lot of fun to make. I hope it's been vaguely, mildly entertaining to listen to. Let us know what you think. We've got an Instagram handle now for the podcast. It is Porror Hodcast, all one word. You can find it by entering that in, or check out our links in our bios at Willie Fogg, Ed Fogg. I said that the wrong way around. Eddie Fogg, Will Fogg. Yeah. Please do check it out. Massive thank you once again to Will Gregson for our artwork, and good friend for the music. It's great to get a bit of support. And one down, 300 to go.
Oh, I added more to the list. It's like 350 now.
Fuck me. We're going to do one a week. I don't even know how many weeks that is. All right, cheat humour. No, thank you again. It's been fucking cool to make.
Nice one. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. How bad are you going to go?
Well, I'm not going to... I don't know.
I don't know.
Why did you go to me there? Why was that? Why was it? How bad are you going to go?
Well, there are two people doing it. If you're in a room of people, yeah, absolutely. You don't blame yourself, do you?
You're like, well, you could have said we.